Hi, Eric Redbeard here, letting you know that Pro Wrestling Valier, Classic Championship Wrestling, and Seven Mountains Wrestling are uniting. Coming to the York Revolution Stadium, May 20th, 2023. See you there.
All right, guys, welcome to Three Beards of Wrestling. Your hosts, Shane and Ricky Ortiz, which his mic is muted, so I'm going to unmute him.
I'm muted right here, without.
Right. All right, guys, before we bring on our guest, we'll go over some shows and stuff coming up. First, this weekend, we got CCW and Marysville Lions Club. Doors open at 4 p.m., bell time 5. Next month, February 11th, Mr. Stack's Gym, door opens at 4, bell time 5. EWA in New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. Show starts at 4, February 25th. The month of March, Fort Knox will be giving free tryouts. So hit us up, try to get your spot.
Wait, the whole month of March?
The whole month of March.
Yes.
And last but least, Mark Mest Wrestling Seminar, February 25th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Only $10.
Oh, wait, he take Venmo, Cash App, and he take this. Oh, $10? Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. So our guest today is Ed House. We'll bring him on.
Yo, listening to Ricky sell that Mark Mest seminar. Woo! You got a shirt on and everything. Look at that. Look at that. Looking like half a professional, brother.
Just a little bit. Oh,
all
man.
Right. How are you doing tonight, Ed?
I'm all right, man. I'm just sitting around doodling pictures of penises and wrestlers that I'm trying to sell at shows and, you know, usual, what day's today? Wednesday night stuff. Just finished some dinner, took a shower, threw on a spray tan, and trimmed my mustache. That's as exciting as it got around here, brother. How are you guys?
We're doing all right. A little sick, but we're fighting through it.
I'm not drawing what you drawing, but I definitely got my pen and paper out to take some notes today because we're excited to have you on
brother. You ain't drawing, brother.
Oh man. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. I guess I'll start it. So Ed, how did you get your start in wrestling, and like who were you trained by?
So in 1992, I was given a blowjob at a truck stop, right? And no, so it's a little bit of a funny story. I was in high school. I was in Spanish 1 for the second time, and the Spanish teacher was cool guy, but he's like, "Look, dude, just stay in the class, ace it. Going to Spanish 2 next year." And I was like, I don't know, it could kind of screw me over. And then halfway through the year, I meet a buddy. He actually sat behind me and he's like, "Hey, I know you're a big wrestling fan. My buddy, his dad's a wrestler, and you should meet him." And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking should." So it ended up being Brock DeLong, Bloodhound, Brock Jericho. I don't know what he's wrestling by, and he's not anymore because he thought he could do a better backflip moonsault than me, and he broke his neck because he's a dummy. No, I love Brock, and we have the same birthday, so I'm allowed to say all that shit. So I meet Brock, I meet Troy, and they're training cats, for a price. And at the time, I was in 10th grade. I'm not legal enough to do jack shit yet. So we fast forward some time. I go to college. I still, am pretty good buddies with Brock, and I've got a photography class that I need to shoot an environment for. And it was that old school photography where it's all silver and the film develops. You go into the dark room, you photo flow, you shake that shit. It's pitch fucking black. You're doing the whole Ray Charles looking around. You can't see anything. And I thought, everybody's going to shoot like the height, like the college weight room or a fucking park bench. And it's all going to be the same stuff. And I thought, that wrestling school isn't too far from the college I was going to. So I thought, let me message those guys and see if they'd let me shoot the school and all that BS. They do graciously. I'm surprised they didn't charge me. But they let me come in and shoot the school. And then they're like, hey, I'm still thinking about training. Anybody who knows Troy Mest will know that cough. And I go, yeah, I'd love to, yeah, but I don't have that kind of money. He's like, oh, the economy shit. We're training guys for, pennies on the dollar. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I can do. Yeah, I gave him the money. He's like, well, I had to go home, think about it, talk to your family. And then on tax day of all days, on April 15th, I actually.
Oh. Yeah, I think you froze. No. Oh, there. All right, you're back.
I know, and
We can't hear you. That's it. Oh, wait 1 sec. Can't hear you.
oh wait, try. Oh wait, hold up, wait, what's going on here? Try to exit out and try to come back in. See if that may help.
No, can't hear you. People saying you got the 99-cent Wi-Fi.
Hey, no, honestly, if you ask Jamal, the cheap Wi-Fi is a good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
All right, so that's so the best bet is probably
Yeah.
right. You're muted now. Now try to talk. Yeah, say nothing.
RJ said hi.
Oh, hi.
RJ getting the shout out.
Yeah, man, it's my big head son.
Cannot hear you.
You can always he's pulling out that earpiece. Okay. You know what? That mustache kind of suits you, sir. Did you plug it into anything? It like you just untangled it, and I don't think.
Don't worry, guys. We'll get him back in here soon.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, you can always exit out and then come back in. Yeah. No.
All right. No comment from Brianna McHugh.
Hold on, let me see. Well, I'm not the host. I can't do nothing.
I can't do anything.
I know.
I can kick him, and then.
Yes, that's 100% what you can do.
All right. Come back in. All right. Well, I guess we just got to bullshit until he goes back.
Hey, that sounds like a plan. Not really good hit.
Oh man.
So other than your cold, man, how you feeling today?
I don't know if it's a cold or if I'm just dying, but
Well,
I'm all right.
definitely should start feeling better soon because
Oh,
How about now?
hey, we got you.
Now we're talking.
All right.
All right, put the women and children to bed. We're gonna get raunchy. So I think I left off where I started training on tax day. And I actually have the contract I signed with Mark and Troy, which is basically their get out of jail free. Like if we fuck you up, you can't sue us. So I always have the date, the 15th day of April, with Mark and Troy Mest at the, I guess, undisclosed location where I won't give away the farm, so to speak. But I put it in with my high school diploma because I valued my wrestling certificate more than my high school diploma. So then that was April. I had my first match in June at the Pheasant Land Roller Dome. It was 812 degrees Kelvin in that building. Cremator worked Greg Spitz in the main event, which was a 20-minute promo followed by a choke slam. And the promoter, who I can only hope to see in hell in his fiery grave, was livid. He was absolutely pissed. There was also 9 people there. 3 of them were with me. The other 6 were one of the referee's entire family. And after that, then, I went through some typical, little guy, big guy stuff with Mark. I worked Mark for probably a good year and a half, 2 years. And then we did some tag team work in Philly, wrestling for Gemini at ACPW. They brought New Jack in, and New Jack was kind of still young enough where he could kill people, but old enough where I think he didn't want to fight anybody. But he also made like some really good points, and like, I think he was a dude who got a lot of. I don't think he got a whole lot of credit for like kind of being a smart cat, because he knew when it came to wrestling, he knew like what was going on. He got it. But when you do the shit that New Jack does, and that's kind of your thing, you kind of don't get a whole lot of props for knowing what's up. But he came in the locker room. He's like, "I fire all these motherfuckers, Charles. Get a whole new crew in here. Get a whole new crew, Charles. I'll fire them all." So now, every now and again, like if Mark and I see each other, I'll be like, "Mark, I got a whole new crew in here, man." He's like, "Fire them all, Charles. I'll fire them all." And Charles is probably the only person that can make Mark look small. Charles is a giant mountain of a black man, balder than a baby's ass, super nice dude. And he's like, Jack, hold on, don't fire anybody, Jack, don't fire anybody. I need them all, Jack. We were at the Cardinal Kroll Center when all that happened, and it was great. Sinister X was calling a match. He threw himself into the weight rack. All kinds of goofy shit. But that's kind of how it started with myself and Mark and Troy. And then it was Troy and I in a ring for 2 or 3 nights a week, training, doing all the entry level stuff. He ran my ass ragged, but also didn't want to kind of scare me away, so he didn't beat the shit out of me too much, but he did let me blow myself up all the time as much as I could. And then in the winter, there's nobody up at the school, so of course Troy's son or stepson Brock was up there. So they're like, "Yeah, just start jumping off the top rope." Fuck you, Morgan Dudley. You suck. Shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is the FCC's not going to fine anybody, but I'm fucking correct, Morgan Dudley. You fucking sweetheart, yeah. But that's how I learned to do like top rope stuff, was there was just nobody at the school, and it was also 12 degrees. So you had to keep moving to stay warm. So I'd start doing springboards and flippy floppies and all leg drops, elbow drops, splashes, 450s, anything that like I thought I could kind of get away with. Too much of a chicken shit to try a shooting star press. I was also, like 112 pounds lighter back then.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, it was everything was a little easier, you know. I had this long ass raggedy hair that I started dating a girl when my hair was a little froey. And then I let it go, and it went and it went and it went, and then we bleached it, and that was a whole fucking mess. And then I was wearing like this fishnet makeup thing at the time. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was a total disaster. And then I cut it, and the lady who cut my hair called me a junkie. And then I looked like this crazy middle school lesbian for a while. I was just totally flopping. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And my trainer at the time, who I'm not going to mention because he's a cunt, and Ricky, you look surprised. Like, you've never seen her like white people use this kind of language before.
Nah, man, you just said you had the fishnet look. Man, this is a lot. I'm like,
oh, Mikey Rath. Talk to Mikey Rath. I think I owe Mikey Rath a match and all that shit somewhere still. Mikey Rath loved all that. I think Mikey Rath liked my boots. I had these yellow and green alligator skin boots that former trainer sold me for like $100, and I had to tell my parents I won them at a poker game, because if they knew I spent that much money on wrestling shit, they'd kill me. And my dad kind of had an idea that I spent money on him, because he's like, "You're not smart enough to understand poker, let alone win at anything." So I think he kind of knew, but I think my mom, I totally had hoodwinked that I won these. They gave them to me. No, they gave them to me. You're not gonna tell me how much it is, how much it was? No, they gave it to me. Like, that was that situation, but with these boots. And then, that went on for a year. I tore my ACL.
Oh, it's freezing again.
oh no.
Uh-oh.
I had a question about the boots. Do you still got the boots?
Yes, he does. Can't hear you. Fuck.
Yeah, you didn't say nothing. You just picked it right.
No, I didn't do anything. He left. Yeah, he does still have the boots. He wore them. I think sometime last year, maybe he wore them.
And we're back. That's right. That's right. We got it figured out now. Fuck you, StreamYard. You can't keep us quiet. But yeah, that was kind of it in a nutshell. Yeah, I tore my ACL, and then after that, I really, and at the time I was wrestling for, Rob and some guys up north, a little bit of Philly stuff and Jersey stuff, and I was kind of at a spot where I was working every weekend, maybe a Saturday, maybe a Sunday, maybe a double shot, but I was working at least 2 times a week, which was cool, and then training 2 or 3 nights a week. So I really was hitting a stride. But I always wanted to be a little bit more competitive. It better not be kicking me out because of the language, because it's only going to get worse.
Just to throw in there too, if fans have or not fans, but people watching have questions, you guys can ask too. We do have one, but we'll get to it when we're done with this. So.
Ooh, it's probably about my OnlyFans link. But yeah, that's kind of it, and it still took a good long while before I felt comfortable like trying to do anything. I started out, I wanted to be a character, and then I realized that there's kind of a lot of characters, and then I just wanted to be a guy. I wanted to be a guy who did whatever I needed to do to get booked. So that was great, and it was kind of rough because I couldn't really market. I kind of took myself out of the market because I would be a super baby face in one company, and then 40 miles up the road I would be a giant heel, and then the next town over I was like a mid-card jabroni comedy guy with this other dude, and then 2 states over I'd be a giant baby face. So I kind of was in the, hey, whatever you need, brother, whatever I can do to help you, yada yada yada. And I think in the long run, that early, it kind of, maybe I shot myself in the foot, but I still felt like I was having good matches, and I was working a bunch of different people. Now I still kind of do the same thing, which is crazy that I'm bitching about it. But I feel like I've got a little bit more of a handle on how to, and I feel like I kind of understand how to work as a babyface a little more. So it's not too bad. Now I've got to beg people to like, hey, you feel like if you need a heel for the show, like I can work heel. I can do, but like, no, you're so big and you're funny. You got to go up there and be big and be funny and draw me money and all that shit. And it's cool because, as a good guy, people want to buy your shit and want to talk to you and all that stuff. And as a heel, like, I think you shouldn't do that. But I also get that, if you have a good heel, the babyface isn't giving them a cut of the merch money. So I get it. But yeah, I think I'm rambling now. I think that's official.
It's all good.
We're way off the fucking rails. That first derailment took it and kicked us all right in the crotch, right in front of the ref.
Before we get to Ricky's question, Jason Holt wants to know, what's the story with the axe?
I totally stole it off of a buddy of mine whose gimmick I was like super in love with. And he, at one point in time, had an axe for something, I think. He also came out with, like, he would come to the ring with a chainsaw, and I'm too much of a pussy for that. And but the whole look, like that whole hybrid kind of gimmick, was a straight, rip with some slight modifications so that he didn't totally whoop my ass at first. And now it's more of a, I like carrying something to the ring. I like having like that gimmick, and it's absurd too, right? Because if I hit somebody with it, they're going to die. So it has absolutely no point being there. I can't use it. I like the fact that now it's, like I care when people, what do you have an axe? Well, I take a lot of back roads to work, and if tree falls, I gotta Paul Bunyan that shit. And the look that people give me is a little ridiculous. And then everybody expects the axe to be fake, and it's totally real. I had to clean it up and shave all the tetanus off of it. I found it laying against Mark's school one night, and I picked it up, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I went home and I sanded it, and we threw some tape on it, and then I used it in the match, and I was gonna the old freaking over the top hit the guy with it, and I thought, man, it's crazy. We did all that, and the ref took it. We did the whole thing, and I brought the axe to the back, and I was like, man, it's crazy that. Could you imagine if he didn't the ref didn't grab it, brother? It's coming. Turn your head. And I go to pick it up, and I'm thinking, man, it's really light now all of a sudden. And I look down, and I've got the handle in my hand, and the axe head was still on the ground. And I thought, man, if I had to swing that thing and we missed, like, axe head would have gone 12 feet into the front row and hit nobody, because nobody came to those shows anyway, so it didn't matter. I'm just gonna bury every company I've ever worked for, just burn all the bridges I've ever made in 15 or 16 years of wrestling. But yeah, so that was kind of the story with it. Now I like it because it is a little different, and if I do get to use it, it's cool. But that's kind of how all that started. I put, I cleaned it up for the PWE show that we were on, and my kid hit me with my name is Jeff out of the blue, and I couldn't remember where I had heard it. And I knew it was from something, but he watches a lot of YouTube, so I was afraid to start looking for it. And it turns out that it's from 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Where they're, I forget the scene, but he's like, yeah, my name is this guy. I think they get made that they're cops.
Yeah, they were.
Channing Tatum hits it with him. My name is Jeff.
Yeah, they were doing the drug bust or whatever.
Yes,
yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. So I threw that on there because I thought it would be funny, and I knew he'd like it. And he has come around to the idea of me wrestling a little more. I stopped for a while when my ex-wife and I got divorced, and I was going through some custody stuff. I much rather would have been dad and watch him play football or try to play football because he wasn't all that great. Day drink and watch him just be terrible at sports. But I wanted that more than I wanted to wrestle. And then one day he hits me with, Daddy, when are we going to go to a show? When are we going to wrestle again? And when can I get in the ring? And when can I hold the belt? And when can I do blah, 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 blah. And I thought, oh, well, I could probably, if I maybe a little easier in the tag team, but I could probably get another couple of years out of wrestling. So I, kind of jumped back into some full-time stuff again. And now all my shows are on weeks that he spends with his mother and her husband and his two boys. And here I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, and the little motherfucker ain't even at the show watching. So it's fun. It's nice to hang out, and I feel good. I still feel like I can kind of go, and I feel like I can contribute. And if I'm in a spot where I can like really work some younger guys or newer guys and help them get over, I'm more interested in that now than really anything. So it's been fun, and I'm excited for me and my Hungarian brother from another mother, Daddy Razzie, are going to do in some of these places, and all the folks will have to talk to take it a doomsday device.
So Ricky, this question has came up like twice now.
It's actually the fourth time. Okay.
Fourth time. So I think
better answer it.
Yeah, they need an answer, Ricky.
All right. So, right now we got some things in the works. So I can't sit there and put a date on anything, but it's in the works.
The people need answers.
Hey, I can't give you a specific date.
Oh. Ricky, disappointing.
Disappointing. Crazy. But getting back to you, Mr. House. First of all, I want to know. I had to write this down. How do you clean the tetanus off of something?
Vinegar and bleach. A little bit of piss, but mostly vinegar and bleach.
Okay, yeah. And how was that recovery looking for you? Like when you did tear your ACL?
Oh, that was like 15 years ago. I was at Eddie Valentine's house, cursing out my trainer. Jesus Christ. And I was, I want to say we did a show for Tate that I went to. And then after that show, because Eddie lived in Denver, then we drove up to Eddie's house, and I'm pacing back and forth like a foaming, like rabid German shepherd. Like I'm screaming into my little fucking Nextel flip phone, push to talk at this guy who's just I finally had enough of the whole, well, if you're going to wrestle for this guy, you can't wrestle for him, and now you should only be wrestling for me, and blah, 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 blah. And that's not what I signed up for. So I ran this guy, through every curse word I could string together. And I'm just pacing back and forth. And I'm maybe a month and a half out of surgery. I was still in like a big immobilizer if I was going out in public. And the driveway was on like a hill. So one side isn't too bad, but then when I come back up, I've got to pace uphill. And that was, but after like an hour of just being, and I probably walked this guy's driveway for an hour just yelling at this dude, and we fucking had it out. It was awesome. After that, it wasn't too bad. I wrestled like 3 months later. And I always kind of especially at work, because some of the guys know, all the guys know now that I wrestle, but whenever there's linebacker, Octavius Quentafon tore his ACL, he'll be out for a year and a half. I wrestled for a year and a half with my shit gone. And then 3 months later, I was back in the ring working. I think my first match back was I worked fucking Serini in a shopping mall with nobody in it. I was, I think it was like 3 months later, and Cliff and I wrestled each other, and I think I tapped out to the walls of Jericho. or a sharpshooter or something crazy like that. But I got really lucky. I didn't really have an issue, but I did not rehab my hamstring properly. So I like now I have an issue. Like if I need to run or like sprint for an extended period of time, I'm fucked. Like it's not gonna. That's also why I bought a gun, right? It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna run away. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna shoot you. But it's been a little like it's weird because I can still feel it. If my leg is up for too long, I can feel it in the back. So I went with a hamstring graft instead of a cadaver ACL. But that was back in May of 2009. So I mean, like other than that, I really have no issue. I have a cool scar that you can't see because I've just done nothing but put spray tan and real tan over it. But it's not. It really wasn't too bad. And my physical therapist was a smoking hot, chubby redhead. Oh my god, it was fantastic. Except she's like that first day after surgery, they brought me back, and she's like, all right, we're gonna take this off and see how it is. And I got the cut and the holes and all that shit. She's like, all right, well, we're gonna get your leg moving. We're gonna get some blood into it. And she just picked my shit up and whoop, put it at 90 degrees. And I and then I realized it didn't hurt. And then she's like, all right, that's good. That's good. That's all we're gonna do today. That's the second time that's come up. Ricky, that's probably for you, buddy. They want to know who your favorite manager is and when you're getting back in the ring. But I mean, again, in terms of my ACL, I really had no issues with that at all. Like I said, I got really, even like when I had my Achilles redone. Again, there was no pain, there was no real issue. I got really, really lucky.
That's what's up, man. Definitely. I got a follow-up question. If Shane, if you don't mind, bro. I heard you say this a lot. How times a week do you spray tan?
I try to do it, if I'm going to wrestle a Saturday, I'll try to go like Thursday. I'll spray tan. I tan regularly at a salon because the girls at Baja Beach are fucking awesome. But I'll go like Monday. I'll try to go like every day or every other day, just tan normally. And then I'll throw a little extra black on, brother, on Thursday. Yeah. And then this is the gross part because then I'll go Thursday like after work. And then I'll go to bed all layered up so I don't get shit on the sheets. Work all day Friday, no shower, just right like a motherfucker. And the spray tan has like accelerants and boosters and oxidizers and a cologne, and none of it smells good together. It's it's not the cards, right? You just own it. And people, what's that smell? Like it's me. Look at me. Fuck off, right? That's you gotta own it. So then I'll go all day Friday, and then depending on what time the show is, I'll either shower late Friday night or I'll shower like early Saturday morning. But then even still, that's just like a warm water rinse to just kind of like run all the extra stuff off. But then like after the show, I'll tan again. And it's just like the water is gray, brown, just absolutely disgusting. It looks like the cloudy water you see in every horror movie, or any movie where kids have to run through a sewer. That's what the water looks like. But now I've got some lotion. I've got a moisturizer with some bronzer in it that works really well, and I got a velvet, like a velvet mousse. Little velvet mousse tan application, which is like a spray tan in a bottle, they call it. And that worked out really well for me this past weekend. Little pricey, but it's nice if like I don't have to go to the salon then and spend the extra money to tan on top of like what I'm paying normally. So it's not too bad.
Don't worry, Ricky, you don't have to tan.
Yeah, you get that Earth Mama Natural Night Camo thing going on, brother.
What is your dream match?
My dream match? Probably like right now, I think it's me and LGR. If I can get LGR in the ring, with some kind of story, with some build up, that's probably my dream match. Or like any one of my buddies, like in Broforce, Zach Rain, Davey Hetfield, Shane Malice, Ryan Colby, me. I feel like there's somebody else I'm forgetting. Chris Rush, maybe Corey, but Corey's managing. That's probably like my be all end all. Or like if I can get Cremator, if I can get Jimbo in the ring one more time, like that would be cool. But yeah, it's just hanging out with my buddies, like just talking shit in the ring, forgetting all of our spots and making shit up. Getting them in a chin lock and turning them towards some rats. Just anything that then we can do to amuse ourselves and entertain ourselves. Where I then bleed and go into thumbtacks.
All right, we're gonna take I'd say like a 30-second break. I'm gonna play the video for May 20th, and then we'll get right back to it.
That's it. Sell your gimmicks.
Hi, Eric Redbeard here, letting you know that Pro Wrestling Valier, Classic Championship Wrestling, and Seven Mountains Wrestling are uniting. Coming to the York Revolution Stadium, May 20th, 2023. See you there.
All right. So May 20th in York, PA, at the Revolution Baseball Stadium. Eric Redbeard will be there. I know I will be there. Ed, I don't know.
Mystery. It's a mystery. We don't know.
So Kayla asked, when are you wrestling again?
My next show is at the historic Hamburg Fieldhouse, Hamburg, Pennsylvania, on February 18th for American Excellence Wrestling.
Right.
Yes, the moisturizer. Fuck yeah, Gray Davis. Fuck yeah, moisturizer, brother.
All right. So I would have to ask. I ask everyone that's coming on just because there's a lot of years in the business for who we've been talking to lately. If you had to give any advice for somebody that's wanting to wrestle or that is new in the business, what would that advice be?
Get out and don't. Absolutely not. Avoid it at all costs. I wish I was kidding. No, you know what? It's do your research, find a good reputable school. We're working shows now where guys are training dudes in their freaking backyards and shit. And yeah, some of that, if you've got guys who are, they look like wrestlers, they might be able to train you well. But I'm also a product of two guys who don't really look like wrestlers but they know their shit, so it's a little tricky, but you definitely got to do your research. And this is so hypocritical because I'm a big fat piece of shit who believes that tan fat is actually muscle. You got to hit the gym, you got to look good, you got to be attractive. If you're a chick, if you're a big fatty, own it and then wrestle that way. Don't go bounce around the ring like you want to be fucking Alexa Bliss, but you're built like Nia Jax. Own your body size, own your weight, own your sexuality, own all your flaws, and then use them. And the same if you're a dude. If you're a geeky little fucking nerd, be like the rest of us. Hop on the gas, and don't do that. Don't do that. But you've got to learn to kind of play to your disadvantages a little bit. You got to have thick skin. We're a bunch of foul-mouthed, pranksters. Bunch of 40-year-old guys who get bent out of shape over handshakes. It's but at the same time, like when you're in with a group of folks, like there is that family and that bond and that brotherhood. And I think that's what attracts, a lot of those misfits to wrestling. whether you're buying a ticket, whether you're buying an education, I think that's a lot of it. But definitely, do your research, get to a gym, and find a gig, a shoot job, a real job that will allow you the time to wrestle. Because ain't nobody making towns on $20 fucking an envelope, and everybody's gonna want you to do shit for free. Oh, it's exposure, brother. You get the exposure. Back in my day, we did fucking flaming fucking dildo on a pole matches for free in front of fucking 12 people. That's all bullshit. Most people now just don't want to pay anybody. They want to take all the money for themselves. So you got to find a way to, get some merch too and be marketable, and just, you really got to take care of yourself.
Man. That's what's up. To kind of go off of that, as far as you saying like marketable wise, I hear a lot of. It seems like every time you talk, I always hear like a little bit of Mott and also like a little bit of Hogan. Like, who is your in-ring inspiration? I should say.
Triple H, 1,000,000%. As I got older, and I got wiser to, wrestling, there was definitely a little bit more, personality. Like I hated Steve Austin growing up. I really gravitated to. I thought The Rock was hysterical. But like The Rock and Triple H were like the two guys who were like, I want to be a mix of both of those guys. But I also felt like Taker was just so fucking cool. Like, how can I be those guys but also be cool? And I think that's one of the bigger mistakes that guys make too, is they try to be cool, and like they force it. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely Triple. Like everything he did, there was no wasted movement. There was no fuck ups. It was smooth. It was sequential. It was one thing into the next thing into the next thing, and then sledgehammer, nut shot, pedigree, whatever the case may be. But it was all intentional. As I got older, then it was Henning and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin and Owen Hart. And then as I got older still, then it was, Savage and Nash and Hogan and Taker. And as I put weight on too, I watched a lot of different guys. Like right now I'm watching a lot of Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody. And I'm pissed because I didn't watch any of Stan Hansen earlier, but I mean, Stan Hansen is like your angry, drunk father-in-law who, just found out that his daughter brought home a black guy and he's beating everybody up in the house. Like everything that dude does, terrible, Jesus. Everything that dude does is impactful and it's forceful and it's no bullshit. And that was the other thing I really liked about Triple H too, and all those guys, was that there was no daylight. There was really no space for error. One of the things I really liked about The Rock was how fast he was. But then as I got smart and fucking high school, you can, he's kind of smack. Yeah, but it might be whatever, but he's so funny. Like it all makes up for it. But it all kind of ebbed and flowed. But like even now, if I have a match coming up, like I'm looking at old Triple H matches or older Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody matches and stuff like that.
Some pretty good
notes.
Somebody asked if we're going to see Ed House versus Ricky. Well, Ricky has to stop being a bitch and actually get back in the ring.
Yeah, Ricky's got to scrub the brown out of that singlet and figure out a date to.
The poopy emoji will be back.
That was my
emoji. Mr. Lizzo.
Mr. Lizzo is crazy.
Kind of rewind back to the original question I started with. What was it like training at the dungeon?
Oh no.
No. Oh no. Not again.
Seems like every time we bring up training,
Yeah. Crap out.
Oh man.
You know
I do
what?
have to say, when I was a kid, I do not remember what his gimmick was when I was a kid, though.
That's what I want to ask him. I was gonna ask him like, what's his first gimmick that he has ever done?
Are you back? He's frozen.
He's frozen on a screen that hasn't even popped up yet.
Yeah, I know.
Well, up.
Oh, we can't hear you. Fuck. So like when I was a kid, I always thought like it was like a Willy Wonka gimmick or something. I mean, but like again, like I never like I was still a kid, so.
Hey yo.
All
So
right.
I missed the entire question.
All right. So I'll go back to that one. So we were just talking about. So when I was a kid, and you were working for CCW, what was your gimmick that you were doing? So like as a kid, I always thought like it was like a Willy Wonka gimmick or something.
Yeah. So that's when I first kind of felt like I was hitting a stride. There was definitely like this Willy Wonka-esque. I mean, I had that Hot Topic Willy Wonka jacket. I was seeing a girl in college, and we got all the shit for it. And then I went to class all decked out, and I still had all that shit, the pleather pants, the goggles, the wig, the hat, the whole fucking 9 yards. And I thought, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this shit. So I figured I'd wear it wrestling. And like I said, I was wearing fishnets, and I had this gold trunk with the black Under Armour and purple and green fishnets and yellow volleyball knee pads and the green and yellow boots. It was a Greek tragedy. It was totally awful.
Thank you.
I butchered up a really nice purple Jeffrey Bean dress shirt. Brought tears to my mother's face. I think I was still wearing eyeliner and makeup and shit, and I had all this hair. But yeah, it was just me floundering, trying to figure out how I could present myself a little differently. And then we were working heel at the time because I looked like a giant, homosexual. And then it was, I felt like the outfit didn't match. The outside didn't match the inside. So then I slowly kind of transitioned into more of like a wrestler. And then that all kind of happened, I think. So again, I was watching a lot of Eddie Gilbert. And I got real drunk one night, and I ordered a bunch of fucking plain tights on eBay. And next thing I knew, it was pink long tights and electric blue long tights and black and pink long tights. And I felt like oh, like I'm onto something here, And then I was wearing volleyball.
God damn it! Every story.
Oh, this is an amazing face, though.
I was surprised you weren't going to take a picture of that. We only have so much. We had so much time left, and then this happened. So when he goes back on, you'll ask your question. We'll see.
Yeah, we got
next, and then.
Yeah, we also still have to do his wrap up too, where he's going to be at his 3 to 5 minutes of fame. Get spotlight, of course.
Every good story, it's fucked up.
It's just shooting them right in the feet.
It don't want you to get over.
No, you're right. It's prohibiting me from getting over. I'm not getting paid. I'm getting over. Going on my next T-shirt. But no, there was definitely like I was floundering to look different and be different and act different, and the outside just didn't match the inside. And I felt like, well, something's got to change. So we changed the outside a little bit, and then it was.
God damn it.
Yo, you know what? Every time he freeze from now on, I'm freezing with him.
We'll definitely have to have him on again because this is
yeah. We definitely gonna need a part 2.
Oh man, Ed. All right, let's try to do it one more time. That way we can get through it.
Yeah.
I think you need to move your router down to your basement.
He's writing something.
Oh man. And remember, guys, we're having Piranha on this Monday at 7. So make sure you guys tune on then. And hear what questions we got for him. And then next week on Wednesday, we are going to have one half of the Dog Pound Lobo Loco on here.
For real?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no, can we do that another day?
Why?
Because Wednesday, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be working.
Oh, man. All right, let's finish up.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not really sure where we were, but we are also getting close to time period. So I'm gonna ask another question. It's a two-parter. I want to go to yes, sir. It's a two-parter. What's your favorite all-time 5 superstars of all time favorite? And then the second part to that question is psychology-wise. Who's your top 3 favorite people to watch for psychology?
Like top 5 of all time, I think Triple H, Austin, Taker. Now I can say Stan Hansen. And it's gonna get me heat, but John Cena.
Hey man, no, John Cena is not a bad dude. I like John Cena is also my top 5.
If there is nobody more polarizing and captivating and talked about than him. I mean, you're either going to the arena to boo him or you're going there to cheer him.
God damn
No,
it. God damn it. Ricky. I mean, we can answer this a while. Definitely thinks Cody.
Can you hear me?
Oh no, we could have here. Oh, wait,
Now we can.
Yeah, we're
oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
we're gonna hang you this one.
Yeah. Psychology. To kind of wrap that question up, you know, again, I think I'm going to go with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Undertaker. You know, especially now as I've gotten bigger, like just watching the way the Taker sells around the ring, you know, where he puts himself, how he gets from point A to point B, I think is something I'm trying to figure out how to do a lot more of, especially as a larger babyface working somewhat smaller heels. You know, I've never been much for, hey, you shouldn't bump for that guy, brother. You're too fucking big. It's not athletically competitive. Nobody's going to believe that if I bump for a guy that he's gonna beat me in a fight. And I've always kind of poo-pooed that a little bit. Now, granted, I'm not bumping for some woman. It's terrible, but you know, a drastic size difference. Yeah, I wouldn't expect me to clothesline, you know, Mark Mast and have him bump for me. You know, so you've got your kind of sideshow situations, but I think for the most part, and I love taking bumps. I love selling for a guy and getting him over, and you know, you can only do that when you're taking those bumps and you're doing that, and you're putting that guy over. But also being able to do that kind of on the run is it can add a whole other dimension to a match that I figured out, 10 years too late.
All right. So before we get off of this, why don't we go over some shows that you're going to be at upcoming?
You know what? It's a short list. I've got the AXW show in February. And right now I'm there. I'm kind of all theirs. A little bit of PWE. I'm not sure when their next show is coming up. But I'm enjoying kind of working a schedule that's mine, that I get to dictate. I enjoy being relatively close to home. Being cooped up in a car and now with the job I have now, getting to do a little bit of I'm in a position I can travel back and forth to our corporate facility as a supervisor with my job, and I don't want to be in a car for anywhere more than an hour. I want to fly. I got family that lives in North Jersey. It's a 2.5 hour car ride. I want to fly. I'll fly to JFK, and then I'll drive an hour south. It's totally bougie, but yeah, once you're in a plane and you realize you can go across the country in an hour or two, being in a car for 10 hours is not so great anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Hamburg, Harrisburg area is kind of where I'm floating between at the moment.
All right. I know we talked at PWE this past weekend that you will not be there this Saturday.
Correct.
So hopefully some fans will get to see you. Whatever shows he's on, go to his merch table and annoy the fuck out of him. Buy his gimmicks.
Buy my drawings. Buy my dick pics. My dick drawings.
He got some really good drawings. Before we head out, remember, guys, this weekend, CCW Marysville Lions Club, bell time 5 p.m. Next month, February 11th, Seven Mountains Wrestling, bell time 5 p.m.
Oh.
EWA in Camden, New Jersey. That is a 4 o'clock bell time. If you need information on that, hit me up.
February 11th. I have nothing going on that day. That might be.
I knew you booked if you want to come up.
That might be. That could be better. I don't have to suck no dick for any more bookings. That's when you know you've made it.
Remember, the month of March, Fort Knox will be giving free tryouts the whole entire month. So hit us up. And remember, Mark Mess Seminar, 2 to 4, February 25th in Woodbury, New Jersey, only $10. So if you guys want to do that, hit one of us up. We all got contacts to Mark, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Thank you, Ed, for coming on. We'll definitely have to have you back on here sometime soon to finish everything. I think he froze.
No, he didn't. Not yet. Not yet. Don't.
I'm pretty sure he froze. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, is he back?
I think so.
All right. Thank you again, Ed, for coming on. It was definitely a lot of fun.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. So everyone else, have a good night, guys.